Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of the Beard Al Podcast, the podcast about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And I'm Lauren, and in the room with me, Russ was kind enough to roll his chair in. Hello, husband.
Hello, hello, hello.
And friend of the show, fan of the show, contributor to the show, and all-around awesome fellow, Noah is back. Hello. We know a guy, and you are the guy that we know. Hello, Noah. How are you?
I am the guy. I am great. Happy to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you back, man. Like, you have provided us with so much just like back and forth on things that we talk about on the show that it's like, man, I just enjoy it when you're on the show. So for those listening, we've already talked to Noah before we started recording about what he's going to be doing for the next album. So get ready for that because that's going to happen. It's on the books and I'm excited for it. Yay. But today we're here nearly wrapping up this Polka Party series, which is kind of crazy to think about. But we are here. We're almost got it done. And we're on the next to last track on Polka Party, and that is Good Enough for Now. And when I put the call out for people to pick tracks on Polka Party, you obviously, Noah, were one of the first people that I asked. I was like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And you picked this one pretty quickly. Before we jump into any of it, may I ask why?
That's a great question. You know, this is probably not my favorite song on the album, but I will say, I think I gained a new appreciation for it. I listened to it about a year ago. It was actually, I remember, so I was listening to a podcast where these two guys were talking about Everything You Know Is Wrong, and they just went through all of the connections that Al kind of made with the song with like things that They Might Be Giants does in their songs. And after I was done listening to that, I was recommended Good Enough for Now in my YouTube suggestions. And so I listened to it again. And I think just like B.B. King said that Generic Blues was the best blues song he'd ever heard, I think this is probably one of the best country songs I've ever heard. There's just something about it that is so connected to that particular era of country music that I really think that Al nailed.
I find no fault in that logic.
No, I don't either. And actually, in the first like 3 minutes of this episode, I'm gonna just go ahead with this too. I think that sound wise, as in like the style of this song, Al is like, this is what, 86, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd have to look up the copyright on like No Fences, Garth's second LP, which I want to say is like 89. Anyways, Garth is like at least 3 years ahead of, or Weird Al is like 3 years ahead of the rest of country music.
1990, No Fences.
Okay, so like the style of country that he's doing here is, okay, lyrically, he's doing the opposite of the average country ballad. Like He Stopped Loving Her Today, Always on My Mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the I Just Love Her So Much country ballad, right? But country music style wise, there wasn't anything like this that was in the mainstream until like Garth, Alan Jackson, Dwight Yoakam, you know. And the thing that stuck in my head, because it's funny, because it's almost like a reverse pastiche, but like Two of a Kind Working on a Full House, that song like sounds like this.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Except Weird Al did it 3 years or 4 years before that came out. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
So, and yes, I'm aware that there was like upbeat country before that. I mean, it's stuff. I mean, back to Hey Good Looking by Hank Sr. and then, you know, Kiss an Angel, Good Morning and everything along the way. But I'm talking about like what was in the mainstream, you know. like in 1986, like okay, in the early 80s, Dolly with 9 to 5 was like mainstream, and then there again with her and Kenny with like Islands in the Stream, and that there were Crystal Gale, like there were country artists that were on the mainstream charts, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the mid 80s, nobody was, and then Garth picked it up again, and then Dwight and everybody else did, and then you have Tim and so on, right? In the 90s, okay, but like here the song comes out in 1986, and it sounds like all of the country that's going to be huge hits. Like if this song was on Alapalooza,
It would make more sense to your brain.
no, it wouldn't make more sense to my brain. It was people would go like, "Oh, well, he was just ripping off," but it should get credit for being so far ahead of its time, in my opinion.
I mean, yes, sure. Weird Al's always ahead of his time, and I thank you for that very astute observation. You know, like, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think like what Noah was saying, like the lyrics too are like really. They're really good lyrics.
They're
like,
really good.
It's the opposite of he stopped loving her today. Like it's just like it's just a guy being like, I wish you were, I wish you were as good as that woman in that song. Like you're not, but I really wish you were.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's so Weird Al. It's he's not being mean. He's just stating a fact.
Yep.
You know.
It's beautiful. Yeah, like I hadn't even thought about what you were saying as far as its place like in the country music paradigm. I think that's the right word there. I could be wrong.
Spectrum, maybe?
Yeah, either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say oeuvre, but I know that's not it. The pantheon of country music.
There you go.
But like you're totally right. Because like for me again, like I didn't hear this song until I had already heard a whole bunch of country music, right? So that's a really cool.
But does this not register to you as that, like Fast as You, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, and I think the fact that it's just so the style is so incredibly well done. I think. To the credit of what we're already all saying here, that makes the jokes land better because the style is just so perfect. Like you can listen to the lyrics and you go, oh, I get exactly what's occurring in this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds exactly like a love ballad, and so that's what you're going in expecting, and then it completely flips.
Weird Al's the best at flipping stuff. Like we, in preparation for this, obviously listened to the song a bunch, but also, you know, he performed this song on some iterations of the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent ill-advised vanity tour, and also just the ridiculously self-indulgent ill-advised vanity tour.
Right.
And what's fun about that is if you catch those performances on YouTube, there are people in the crowd who are absolutely hearing it for the very first time in that moment. And the crowd laughing at the jokes when the jokes land is kind of beautiful. You know, it's like you know, I can honestly say you're an above average lady.
I love it.
Right. Yeah. You're always, every verse, you're always waiting for the way that he's going to, like, essentially kind of give her a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really lands.
The song is so full of backhanded compliments. Like this song could be retitled, you know, Good Enough for Now, parentheses, backhanded compliments.
Right.
You know, but like what we were saying, this is what Weird Al does so incredibly well, and this is not like the first or last time that he does stuff like this. You know, like this falls into that place where it's love songs that throw you for a loop, like One More Minute does, or You Don't Love Me Anymore does. You know, and then this also does the same thing where it's like,
right.
So, for you, for any of you, either of you. Where does this sit on like Weird Al's like love song but not quite love song like list? Like how do you feel about this?
I think, well, first of all, and I think it's I don't think anybody would disagree on this. I think it's criminally underrated.
Mm.
Like Polka Party is so frustrating for me because so many people talk about it like it's such a bad album, and it's just not. Like there are things on it that aren't great, and there are things that should have gone better for the album than they did, but it's not the album's fault. Like Here's Johnny I mean, we've already talked about all this, but like Here's Johnny is a great parody. It is not the fault of Weird Al that single wasn't big or remembered. It wasn't as big as it was supposed to be, or as remembered as it should be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and again, we've talked about the whole record, almost the whole record so far, but like there's great stuff on this album, and this is one of them. Like, I feel like this is user error that people look down on Polka Party, because of songs like this. This is a great original Weird Al song, and the fact that people just lump it, oh well, yeah, the Polka Party is not a good album. Well, that's user error in my opinion. I think I just think I think this is I would put this against those ones you mentioned.
Yeah,
like I think there's people that would talk about You Don't Love Me Anymore, and the song would never cross their mind, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and I think that this song goes great up against it. You know, like I mean, because they're both. You Don't Love Me Anymore is a really great love song about a guy that really is devoted to his partner. Here, as much as he's kind of giving her those backhanded compliments, he says at one point, like, I probably couldn't ask for anything more. And so
yeah, hold on, you just reminded me, there's the one line that I love where he says, oh, I swear I'm never going to leave you, darling, until something better comes along. It's like where he's like, I'm really committed to this, unless.
Yeah.
You know.
Unless, yeah. Yeah, I think that, you know, I think that Al, you know, just, yeah, he put a lot of care into this one. You can always tell when he has a really strong idea for a song and has like he's just able to find a couple of really good lines that really make the song work.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that's absolutely built on those one-liners. Like, you have the concept, but the one-liners are totally what sells it, right? And again, putting it in the context of its time, you know, especially like the, you know, He Stopped Loving Her Today, and like then love songs, even in the country genre, where the, you know, the object of affection is being like overly idolized, right? This is the thing that flies in the face of that, you know. It's I don't like using the word it's a commentary on, but like it kind of is taking a look at like how what relationships are like when you settle, what anything is like when you settle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting you bring that up, because in the process of me listening to this song a few times in preparation for this, I was like, I know that this sounds like something that I've heard of, but I can't put my finger on it. But one of the examples that I thought that is even more apparent to me now that you said that is there's a song by a man named John Connolly called Rose-Colored Glasses. And it's basically this guy, he's dating this woman, they've broken up, and he's realizing that as he's missing her, he's looking at the relationship through rose-colored glasses. And this is kind of a similar sentiment here, except the guy's literally in this relationship, not realizing how great the person he's with is.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of rose-colored glasses. It's like poop-colored glasses.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
One thing too, and I've again, every time I say this on your show, I go, I've probably said this 100 times. So we'll say this is 101. But
I keep inviting you back.
well, no, I wonder if Weird Al thought of this. And again, here's something else I've said 100 times on your show. He's so smart that I have to assume that he did. So one thing a lot of those ballads are known for, and by those ballads, I mean, like, from the country ballads that were written in the 40s up to ones that are being released today, is they all have that twist. Like there's the the first two verses are something that happens, and then the third verse happens, and you're like, oh no, she died, or
don't take the girl.
I mean, there's a million. Well, and there's the he stopped loving her today is the where you're like, oh, that's how he stopped loving her today. Like it's not that he finally got over her; it's that he can't love her anymore. Like don't take the girl. Alyssa lies. I'll wait for you. Like, I probably just caused like at least 10 listeners to cry, like thinking of those songs, But here's the thing with this song, though. When I first heard this, I thought the last verse was going to have the twist, like he was going to be like, "Oh no, really, I love you," But there is no in this song. He's just like, "No, I'm the straightforward country guy." Like from the start, I'm like, "You're just okay." Yeah, you're just okay. And then there is no twist. Like, and I think that, again, this is where I'm trying to think, like, I wonder if Weird Al thought of that. Like this person singing is so straightforward that he's like, and then there's no twist. Like, nope, I've been telling you this since the beginning of the song. Like, you're just, so like, if you're waiting for the thing where then there's a bridge and I go, but then I realized how much you mean to me. Like, nope, I'm the straightforward guy. I've been telling you since the start, you're just good enough for now. Like, and again, this could be me overthinking it, but when I first heard the song when I was a kid, I thought that was coming. And I was like, nope, like that guy's just a jerk. Like, so I just think it's a brilliant. And of course I hadn't heard anything from, obviously I have not had access to a time machine. So I hadn't heard anything from 1994, but like years later, I would go back and listen to this and be like, that dude was doing that style before them.
Oh man, Weird Al's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
He is. I agree.
I'm forced to concur.
You're forced to concur. Well, it's true. He kind of is married to the Weird Al lady. He is forced to concur. But hey,
No, I'm forced to concur by common sense.
Oh,
and then I also happen to be married to you.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's good. But yeah, like so much, and especially like as a kid, you listen to music and it's like idealizing like relationships like so much. Like nobody's perfect, right? Like nobody is that, that golden thing. I don't care who you are, and what's so great about this is like one of the phrases I have in my notes is like brutally underwhelming. Like this is just like so straightforward. It's savage. It's like, no, this is where we are. This is where we land, and this is how it goes.
Well, and that's how I feel about, like, again, and I know Weird Al's no stranger to playing characters in his songs, but even the way this is written is just like very Weird Al. Like it's not mean. It's just like, I'm just stating facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like there's kind of an undercurrent in country music of this era where it has a similar tone where that old thing of like, oh, this is my old ball and chain, right? And then you have that here. So what you were saying earlier, Lauren, about it being a commentary, I think certainly if you're looking at this decade of country music, that might be an undertone that he kind of recognized that kind of maybe gave him this idea for this song.
Probably. I mean, there's so much. I love that old ball and chain thing. That absolutely got my brain going to somewhere that's not even close to this. But I'm in the middle of a Cheers rewatch as I do, because Frasier's my favorite show. So I go back and watch Cheers to set that up again. But anyway, this song reminds me so much of Norm and his wife Vera, right? Because Norm, anytime Vera calls the bar, he's like, I'm not here. I'm not here. I don't want to see her. Like, I don't want to talk to her. Like, oh my goodness, right? But heaven forbid somebody says a cross word about her to him. Like, he's going to come for you. I just watched an episode where Vera got a job at the restaurant upstairs from Cheers as the hat check girl. And she spent most of her time looking through a peephole in the floor down at Norm, that she got fired for being a hat check girl. And then Norm went off. Like, how dare you fire he spent the entire episode being upset that she was just upstairs. Like, he wanted his space, but like don't cross her though, and this feels very kind of much like that. It's like, most of the time it's like the old ball and chain, or like, oh, the wife over there, blah, 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 but then something happened. It's like, wait a second, something run. So do you think maybe then the narrator of this song could have that moment where like somebody does cross his above average lady, and above average, like, see, that's a plus.
Right.
And then he goes, oh, but wait a second, like I have to defend this person, I don't know. Food for thought.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree, because I mean, he's very even keeled about this whole kind of situation here. He's comfortable in the relationship that yeah, if someone crossed her, then I like to think he'd go to bat for her.
I'd like to think so too. And actually, on that note, I feel like this is a good time for me to make sure I take the moment to throw it over to commercials based on what you've Googled.
Take a break, and I was going to say, like the guy in this song should do.
Yeah, he needs to take a break.
Yeah, but never mind.
No.
We'll go to commercial instead.
Okay. We'll be right back after these ads that are hopefully not terrible.
That are probably good enough for now.
Ah!
If you're into comedy, game shows, and improv, you should come check out BFYTW. We are an adult British-inspired comedy panel show. New episodes release every Thursday through your favorite podcast player or bfytwpod.com. We're also a founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network and would love for you to join us for some laughs.
Each of us identify with one of the Golden Girls. I'm Sophia, Aaron is Dorothy, Kristen is Sweet Rose, and each week we'll have a guest sit in the Blanche spot, the naughty seat. Come join us on the lanai for some cheesecake.
Part of the Odd Pods Media Network.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff?
Remember yesterday I was telling you how I wished I could have seen one of Billy Joel's sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I said you should go see Taylor Swift instead. She's the modern-day Billy Joel.
Well, today my phone said I should read an interview with Billy Joel where he talks about both retirement and Taylor Swift.
Oh, man. It's always so creepy when that happens.
We should do a podcast about how our devices are always listening to us.
We already do. It's called Suggested Articles.
A podcast?
We talk about how technology is always spying on us and how those tech corporations are such big buttholes.
Dude, you can't say buttholes on a podcast promo.
Dude, we already did. Twice.
Join us every other Monday on Suggested Articles,
the podcast,
on your favorite podcast app.
Part of the Odd Pods Media Network.
And we're back.
Man, I can't get back in that shit.
Ah. All right. I hope those weren't terrible, but maybe they were good enough for now. They were good enough to do what it is they're supposed to do, I suppose.
My thing is, it's not even, you always say, and it's true, that your ads are based on like what you Googled. So like, it's not even an election year. So like, if your ads are bad, then like you really messed up.
Yeah, I don't even know what they could be.
You know what I mean? Because like usually in an election year, like I know me personally, I try so hard to not have any political contact at all, but sometimes it ends up in your feed anyways, you know?
Yeah.
But like if it's not a political year and you still ended up with crappy ads, then that's super duper on you.
Yep. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
Can't argue with that.
No, you
especially at this time of year, you should have your feed should be filled with like
hot dogs.
like the most offensive thing in your feed should be like pumpkin spice
Baseball,
latte.
yeah.
If I don't care about football at all, like that, if that should come in my feed because everyone else is talking about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Fair enough. I like that. I like that for it. So yeah, I mean, like, okay, good enough for now. We spent some time talking about the kind of the way the lyrics are framed and all this, that, and the other. And Russ, you touched on the sound of it at the beginning. I would like to go a little bit deeper into the music of it, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yes.
Especially since we watched a live performance of this, before we sat down to record today. I don't know. I am a sucker for a slide guitar, and just watching Jim do that live with this, where he was just so comfortable, looked like he was having such a good little time playing this silly little ditty, and it's a solid little country song, and it is like note perfect for what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
Well, just real quick, one thing I want to say is I'm not saying that this style of country never existed before. It definitely did, and at that time as well. I'm just saying it like wasn't part of like mainstream. To me, the late '80s at the earliest was when it started to become like hits again. So if Weird Al had his ear to the ground, I'm sure, but like if anything, maybe that is why something like this fell flat at the time, because people were like, I don't know that style of country. You know what I mean? But I think it sounds awesome. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Noah.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is like you said, not something that would have been in the mainstream, but if you were a regular listener of country music, I think you would kind of hear this style more. I love the guitars in this. I love the violins, like the fact that it opens with those violins. That's one of my favorite parts of the song, because that's such a hallmark of country music, especially of this time. And my favorite thing, and I was thinking about this the other day, is that there are certain Al does great with all his music and goes above and beyond with everything, but there are certain songs where he is parodying.
That's a tough word.
I know, right?
I say it a lot.
Where he's doing that, like trying to get the artist or the genre just perfect, and he'll add these little touches. So like I think back to Germs, the 9 Inch Nails style parody. I have always loved at the end of that song that there's those few little piano notes that kind of close out the song, because like you could just, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, that you could easily just write a song that kind of sounds like 9 Inch Nails or kind of sounds like a country song, but there are just little like you'll have lines that he'll sing, and in the background you'll just hear these very like loose piano notes.
Yeah.
And that's like all throughout the song, where there's just these little like piano fills almost that are happening all throughout it. And I just think that really shows how much attention Al pays when he is doing these pastiches.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. We've talked so much about how like you talk about My Own Eyes, how like that's every Foo Fighters song ever, CNR, that absolutely hits the Jack White Stripes thing like completely, like the attention to detail is so spot on. And I think it's tough to say that Al like quote nailed it with a pastiche that's not a particular artist, right? It's just a pastiche of a genre that to Russ's point, like was still, as far as popularity, like popular opinion goes, was still kind of like finding where it was in this sense, right? For him to nail that so firmly, like, you know, with the fiddle, with the slide guitar, you know, with everything that's happening. Like, we were listening to the new Sabrina Carpenter album earlier today. And there's a track on it that when it started, Russ literally said, oh man, he goes, there's going to be a remix of this where they throw a fiddle at it and it's going to get like airplay on country radio, right?
Right.
We get another 30 seconds into the song. What shows up? Fiddles. And
like first time listening to the record. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah.
Like, this is a country song, you know? And the fact that now, like, this kind of stuff that Al was doing on Good Enough for Now is just kind of part of, like, yeah, that's a, you know, Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter, is a pop album, but it's got these country undercurrents to it. And, like, everybody's kind of reaching back now to what, you know, essentially got popularized with Garth, but, like, Al definitely heard coming before that. I just think it's super fun. Like, I think that there are people who are like new Weird Al fans now that would probably appreciate this song more than it was appreciated when the album came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish this type of country music would make a comeback, because we've gotten into
from your lips to God's ears.
Hip hop country, you know, stadium country. It's just anyone that likes Weird Al. I would also tell you to go listen to Bo Burnham's country song, Pandering.
Yeah.
Perfect encapsulation of what country has turned into. Like, I just, I shudder. I shudder when I hear that stuff. That's why I like my prime country.
Oh man. Yes. Wow. I have so many bad things to say about where country music is at now.
Well, you know, you can do that.
No. Nope.
No?
But here's what I will do. I'll shift it back this way. So to put a finer point on what Noah was talking about with Weird Al's attention to detail, as far as like, well, any song really, but this one specifically, nothing to do with the parodies, but with pastiches and his originals. When I was a kid, Weird Al's pastiches and originals to a certain extent, but mostly the pastiches, are what made me understand the phrase imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Like, when people would say it when I was a kid, what they meant was when like Rich Little would do Johnny Carson, right? They'd go, oh, well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And yes, there's an immense amount of talent in a lot of people who can directly imitate someone else. Okay. And I'm not talking about like an Elvis impersonator. I'm talking about an imitator, like a person who does exactly a Johnny Carson imitation. Okay. I think when I was a kid, the thing that made me realize, like, no, when you can take and listen to something, a whole genre, so intently that you come up with a piece of original music that imitates it in every way without making fun of it, that's the sincerest form of flattery. So like when I say that to people about like My Own Eyes, I tell people, I'm like, do you like the Foo Fighters? Well, so does Weird Al. Like, you know what I mean? Like, would you like to hear every song they ever did at once without in any way making fun of them? Like, it's such low hanging fruit. He could just write all of these pastiches could be like, this song could be the dumb joke that everybody's ever done. What do you get when you play a country song backwards? You get your wife back and your dog back. Like, Weird Al could just do that. The song could be making fun of country music, and it's not. My Own Eyes could be making fun of the Foo Fighters, and it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally him going, and like Noah said about like Germs, like that's Weird Al going, this is how much I listened specifically to the not Pretty Game Machine. What is Closer on? I can see the cover in my head. The album with Closer. It's Downward Spiral.
There you go.
There we go. Like that is Weird Al announcing to anyone who's ever heard Nine Inch Nails and him, this is how intently I listened to the Downward Spiral. You know what I mean? Like that is the sincerest form of flattery, right? And this, like, no, I'm bringing this all the way back around to Noah's original point, is this is in Weird Al in 1985 when he recorded it, or 86, whatever, saying like, this is how intently the polka guy, the Eat It guy, the Like a Surgeon guy is listening to an entire genre that you're not even hip to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Like that's the sincerest form of flattery. And did not bother with the low hanging fruit of like, and then also, you know, I got my dog back. You know what I mean? Like it's just, the guy plays at a whole different level than anybody else.
Yes.
Like, and like what Noah was saying, like if you know anything about country music and you listen to this and if you don't have appreciation for what it is that Weird Al does, then like, and when you hear this, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you, you know, like, you know, this is one of those things where like, if I play this for you and you don't get it here, then like, I think I'm done trying, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I think that one of the things that Al does so brilliantly is that he's able to he is able to poke fun at these genres or these artists. You know, he's able to kind of point out tropes that are in these genres or that these artists do, especially like if he's trying to mimic the way that they sing.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that, he's still doing that by like giving you the thing that you want. So like, let's say that you're not super into country music because there are certain things that it does that you're just not too much of a fan of. Well, what Al is doing here is maybe he's kind of, you know, having all the musical tropes and the lyrical tropes, but it's still something that you can enjoy. Like, it's a country song that you can enjoy even if you don't like country music, because you can appreciate what it is that Al's doing here, and the detail behind it is the reason why you might be able to enjoy it even if this isn't your type of thing.
Yeah.
And you referenced the song earlier, Generic Blues. I have a friend of mine, and Lauren knows him. He fronts an 80s tribute act. He's one of the best singers I've ever seen in my life, and he's one of the most talented guitar players I've ever seen in my life. And this man hates the blues with a living passion. Like, I've been arguing with him about it since I met him in 1999. Like this man loathes the blues. Like he thinks it's like just the worst genre ever. He likes precisely one blues song, and it's Generic Blues. You know what I mean? Like, he gets it. Like, he's not like, oh, haha, he's making fun of the blues. Like, that's genuinely the blues. Like, he literally heard it and he was like, that's every blues song. Like, and that's the only one. That's the only one I need to listen to is that one. You know what I mean? Like, literally. Like, and it's not just, he's not just like, oh, well, Weird Al's your guy. Like, you know, he heard it and was like, well, that's literally the only blues song that was like, he references it all the time. Like, if we're ever like in a bar and the blues are on, he'll like sing lyrics from it. Like, so when you said that, it was instantly made me think of that. I'm like, yeah, I bet there's someone out there who goes, oh, I can't stand country, but like, there's this one Weird Al song, you know, I bet there's a Weird Al fan who can't stand country, but likes this song.
I bet,
you know?
Oh, that's fantastic. That's probably very true. Well, you know, I don't like country, but I love Weird Al, so I guess this song is good enough for now.
I was gonna say, if you're just waiting for the Christmas at Ground Zero and you're like, really don't want this song to be on, but it's good enough for now.
It's good enough for now. That's it. So Noah, did you have any other? I know you are very good at like coming prepared to these things, so I want to make sure that you're getting to say everything that you wanted to come in here and say before I shuffle off to Buffalo with stuff.
You know, I think I've said it all.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is just a really, really, really good song. And Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop myself.
Stop yourself. So all that's really left to do is give the song a rating on a scale of 1 to 27 then. And for how good this is in the country genre, I just love to do it that way. Thank you,
Right.
Alex Trebek. I like this way better than Two of Those People, which we talked about last time. I think it's a very good song for what it is, and I'm going to give it a 24 out of 27.
All right. Well, I think that I'm gonna give it an 18.
Oh my,
because
okay.
There are songs that I like more than this one, even though I do think it is underrated, and I think the reason, I think the fact that I think that it is underrated is why I would probably place it a little bit higher, while not quite going as high on it as you.
As me? Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
see,
it's very,
people could listen to
very
me
good.
rate things and like know exactly how I grade as a teacher, by the way. Like, so if any prospective students at any of the institutes of higher education are here listening to this podcast, I rate songs much like I grade. So, Russ, you're left 1 to 27. What do you give it?
Well, so you've heard me talk about this before. Like, and this is funny, I do this the same way I manage like people. I start my song grades at 27 and then look for things and go like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, what would knock this down for me? And here's the thing. I'm not saying this is a perfect song or like the best Weird Al song ever, but I also don't have any reason to kick it. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So like at 27,
Okay.
but I know there's people that are going to be listening to this that are going to be like, that's insane. But like, I can't think of anything that I would go, like, oh, yeah, this absolutely needs to take a point off of it. Like, it's produced really well. We all just talked about so many things we love about it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think, there's not any reason I can think. I mean, and I can't, the only things I could detract from it are not its fault. Like, it's on an album that doesn't get the love that it deserves. It's placed poorly on the record. That's not the song's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like those aren't things that the song did wrong.
Right.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is going to be worse than the time I said I didn't like Melanie as much as I liked Alimony. This is going to go that poorly for me on your show.
Well, that's great. I mean, I did the math, by the way. Our 3 scores average out to 23.
Neat.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you multiply 23 times 3, that's 69.
Neat.
Nice.
Nice.
But anyway, Noah, before we close out, is there anything that you'd like to plug or promote or talk about or say? If not, that's okay.
No, it's going to be pop music again.
Talk about it.
Yeah, when you asked him to talk about something, it's going to be pop music again.
I actually do finally have something to plug on this show.
Yay.
Sweet.
So if you go and follow me on social media, I talk about reality TV all the time. My favorite show is Big Brother, which is a reality competition show much like Survivor, and it is my summer obsession. It's the only thing you'll find me talking about other than Weird Al. So anyway, I have a friend that I recently started a podcast with, and it is a Big Brother rewatch podcast called The Jury House, and you can find us on YouTube and Spotify, and we'll have all the social medias on the show notes because there's a lot of them I went overboard. So
you go overboard, man, and yeah, you send me what you want me to put there, and I assure you I will put it there. That's fantastic.
That's fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. So finally found someone to do it. I just finished putting out the entire first season that we covered about a month ago, right before this current season of Big Brother started. So yeah, check it out. It was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of really interesting conversations about the strategy, and yeah.
I love it. Well, good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, I love when people who I love when people dip their toe into something new like that. And I think that is so cool for you to do. And I'm so excited about it. So yeah, I'll put all of that information
My
there.
thing is to talk about something that you love,
That's all you got to do, man. I love it. Well, speaking of things that I love, I've loved this episode. I loved talking to both of you. Tune in next time. We will be wrapping up Polka Party with Christmas at Ground Zero with a fellow member of the Odd Pods Media Network. Jeff from Suggested Articles will be here to talk about Christmas at Ground Zero. It will be his first time on this show, but clearly, as he's a member of the same podcast network as us, it's not his first time on a podcast. So you've probably heard their ads in the middle of our episode.
You don't know. He could just own the show.
He could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the ads in the middle, you've probably heard an ad for Suggested Articles at some point. So anyway, yeah, Jeff will be here, which I think will be kind of cool. And then we'll wrap up the album and then go from there. But with all of that, everybody, Noah, thank you again so much for being here. Hooray. Russ, thank you. As always.
Oh, it's literally the least I could do.
I know. And all of you, thank you for listening. And as always, be awesome and stay weird. And we'll come at you again next time. Bye.
Bye.